This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim pass the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And a very good morning it is as the New York Knicks defeat the Denver Nuggets in Denver and win for the first time in who knows how long, a very, very, very long time since Stephon Marbury, Jamal Crawford, Eddie Curry, Channing Frye, Q Rich. Yeah, since those days, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks pull off a very tight game versus the Denver Nuggets. I'm not going to say it was it was the best played game, but the Knicks pulled it off nonetheless, and they got contributions from across the board. Julius Randle kind of led the way tonight. Even if you're not a Julius Randle fan, you got to give it up for him for that. The Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, in the first half, it was just about all Julius Randle. He had it going in the first half, knocking down mid-range jump shots. You know, he really did have it going in the first half. The Knicks went into halftime up 1. And they continued to claw back into this game. They'd get down, claw back, get down, claw back. In the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks hit one of those ruts in the third quarter. They hit these ruts. They hit a rut. Julius Randle started launching threes. Ended up 3 for 10 from the three-point line tonight. The Denver Nuggets went zone. They were playing like a 3-2 zone, and the Knicks were having trouble scoring in that zone, out of that zone. Couldn't find the comfortable shots. And really nobody else was hitting shots at this point in the game besides Julius Randle. And even in the third quarter, Julius Randle really wasn't hitting shots. The bench came in, and while the bench played well in the first half of the game, they struggled in that third quarter going into the fourth, ladies and gentlemen. The bench was struggling. And the Denver Nuggets took a double-digit lead. Then Tom Thibodeau went small. Mark it down. He went small. With a double-digit lead, he went small, and it worked for the Knicks. The Knicks were faster on the floor, right? I don't know if you can say it spread the floor so much that it really helped the Knicks on the inside, but it did spread the floor at least a little bit because Obi, while he wasn't knocking down the three tonight, he was 1 for 5 from the three-point line. It still helped to spread that floor a little bit, and you've seen Julius get some baskets inside because Julius was the guy who really had it going tonight. The Denver Nuggets, ladies and gentlemen, came into the game like 24th in defensive rating, but they played much better defense tonight than what the stats would give them credit for. The Knicks played decent defense as well. It's a 106-103 game. Decent defense as well. And I know everyone's going to say, well, hey, guess what? Nikola Jokic was not at the game. He did not play. I get all of that. I understand. But you know what? You got to go get the win anyway. Doesn't matter who's on the court. You got to go get the win. You got to get it. And the Knicks were able to pull out that win after being down 10 points in that fourth quarter. And Julius Randle played with some passion tonight. You hope that he brings it every night like that. You can't decide when to turn it on and turn it off, but he played with a lot of passion, and it really did propel the Knicks to victory. Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, especially in that fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Some big defensive plays by Julius Randle. He got the one steal, takes it in for a dunk. Then on the next play, not the next play, but a couple plays later, Jalen Brunson, with a nice defensive play, and the ball is popped loose. And Julius Randle runs it down, dives for it, gets it back to Jalen Brunson, who dunks it, by the way. That right there, I think, is my play of the night. That was all-out hustle from both players. All-out hustle. Right? That is the thing that you want to see, ladies and gentlemen. You want to see the Knicks go all out and just hustle and battle to get wins. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like that, and that's what you got to do. They did it tonight. Let's take a look at the box score, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at it. Julius Randle led the way in scoring with 34 points, 11 rebounds. He had 24 of those points in the first half of the game. 4 steals, 4 assists for Julius Randle tonight. He played a very good basketball game. Was it perfect? I'm not going to say it was perfect because I thought in the third quarter, there were some threes he shouldn't have took maybe, and I guess he was testing himself to see if he was hot, to see if he was going to have a 40-point game. He came pretty close to still having a 40-point game. But when the Knicks needed it the most, Julius Randle came through tonight. 11 for 21 from the field, 3 for 10 from the three-point line, 9 for 13 from the free throw line, 69%. We'd like to see it a little bit better than that, but still, the hustle and the passion tonight helped the Knicks pull out that win. Jalen Brunson tonight, 21 points, 7 assists. He was 7 for 13 from the field, 2 for 4 from the three-point line for Jalen Brunson. Derrick Rose had 13 points. 13 points in just about 17 minutes for Derrick Rose, ladies and gentlemen. Derrick Rose is becoming like a microwave for the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? In the way that he can come in and, get you some buckets quickly. Derrick Rose could come off the bench and start heating up almost right away. He's becoming that kind of a player. RJ Barrett, not a good night for RJ Barrett. 22% from the field, 0 for 9 from the three-point line. He ended up with 11 points. But, ladies and gentlemen, RJ Barrett did not play well at all. And we know that he's still nursing a sickness, and he's playing through it. So let's give him at least a little bit of credit for that. But, hopefully he comes out of that sickness and he plays better. Cam Reddish, couple of strong plays down the stretch. 10 points, 3 rebounds for Cam Reddish. Again, Tom Thibodeau goes with a 9-man rotation. DNP for Evan Fournier, a DNP for Quentin Grimes. And I think you can expect this for the immediate future, ladies and gentlemen. Jericho Sims gave some good minutes tonight as well. All right, Jericho Sims, 4 points and 6 rebounds. There are times when Jericho Sims gets hit. We've seen it versus Utah. Some guys will get some kind of an alley-oop or he got caught on a couple of pick and rolls. Tonight, he's young. He's getting experience in the NBA. It's going to happen. But his activity, his ability to jump, his big body, and you seen him down the stretch have to get out on Jamal Murray and played very, very good defense. Very good defense. All right, Jericho Sims is really playing good basketball for the New York Knicks right now, ladies and gentlemen. Very good basketball. For the Denver Nuggets, scroll down so we can see what the Nuggets did. And ladies and gentlemen, Bones Highland, let's just talk about that guy for a minute. 21 points, 7 rebounds. He makes big shot after big shot. You know what I mean? And he definitely did it tonight for the Denver Nuggets. You know what I mean? That big shot to end, that big shot, he knocks down, let me see. At the end of the third quarter, Emmanuel quickly let the shot clock run out. Wasn't really aware of what was happening on the clock. And then Bones Highland comes down and knocks down a 3. Then at the top of the fourth, Bones Highland is isolated on Emmanuel quickly out at the 3-point line. Bop, 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 sidestep. Raises up. Emmanuel quickly fouls him. 4-point play. Bones Highland, big tonight. All right, even as the game really, really got tight, he was still able to get his shot off. You seen him slip through Jalen Brunson and Cam Reddish to get the layup. I think he got an and one on that play, if I'm not mistaken. Big game from Bones Highland. Again, 21 points, 7 rebounds, 7 for 16 from the field, 5 for 10 from the 3-point line. Really playing some good basketball. Jamal Murray, 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope had 13 points. Right now, he's the best 3-point shooter in the NBA. Jeff Green started at power forward, 10 points. Michael Porter Jr., 5 points for Michael Porter Jr. tonight. 5 points. Wasn't giving the Nuggets what they needed. It goes to show you how much a star, ladies and gentlemen, and it could have happened with Jokic there, that he only had 5 points, but it goes to show you what a star and a player like Jokic does to the rest of your team and how it helps them to play their game and to fall in line. You know what I mean? So he disappointed the Denver Nuggets tonight. And then the dude, Najee, man, he was balling out. I was like, come on. This guy, was killing us. He was killing us all night long. But regardless, the New York Knicks got the win. Big win for the New York Knicks. And I have a dish of crow in front of me right now. A big dish of crow. You dig? For this guy. Yeah, Kev, do me a favor. Can you lower your camera just a little bit? Because we're kind of lopsided. Like, you're way up here and I'm way down here. If you can just, get it. Now all we can see is your neck. Try to, if we can get it a little bit even, it'll be better. But anyway, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Good evening, good morning. Salute to the chat. Man, that was phenomenal, what we just witnessed.
Uh-huh.
And it shows what can happen when everyone is locked in. And that's all I've been asking for. But I'm not even going to dwell on that. The game was just it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand Jokic wasn't playing everything, but they still had like a 10-point lead, and you thought that here we go. And honestly, if we would have lost this by 10, I really would not have been that upset because they gave effort the whole night. But for them to do what they did, what Julius did, that him diving on the ground, and getting it out to Brunson, who jammed it, who didn't lay it up, he just jammed it.
Showing your age, Kev. You're showing your age.
You know what? Everyone can.
I'm just saying, you're showing your age. He jammed it. You're showing your age, Kev.
NBA jam.
I mean, can you say he banged it, or you know what I'm saying? He threw it down or something like that.
He threw it down.
There we go.
Yeah, he threw it down. And I like that that 5 that was in there to to close it out with Randall, Brunson, Obi, Cam, and I know I'm missing. Am I missing somebody? Brunson,
Yeah, Brunson, Julius, Cam, Obi,
quickly.
quickly. You
Yeah,
know,
that five was really
well, it was a nice 5 tonight. It was a good 5 tonight.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
right. For what was needed.
Right.
You
It
know,
was
for
what
what
was
was needed.
needed because RJ
Okay.
Barrett just wasn't having a good game, and
Yeah,
he
he
may not even
wasn't.
have the energy right now.
Right. Now, would you have let him come back in the second half?
In the second half, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the top of the
Okay. All
third,
right.
yeah, of course. I'll bring him back
Okay.
in, see what he has, and then like
Because
Tom
he didn't
Thibodeau
seem
did,
like right. Yeah, he didn't seem like uh I think he's battling a cold or something.
yeah, something like that.
And
And yeah.
yeah,
And Julius at the end of the
yeah,
game said that he was battling, a little bit of a sickness too. So
yeah,
it
but
may be going around. It may be going around the team, the players. You know,
yeah,
yeah.
maybe, but it's like I mean, I just don't want a player playing if it's being detrimental. I mean, if he's not healthy, you know what I'm saying, and
Well,
being detrimental,
I'm
to the
sure
team.
that the doctors are paying attention and know how much he can handle right now. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't think that they're gonna allow him to play if he can't handle it. All right, let me get to a phone
Right.
call real quick, Kev.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Caller, you're live. Tell me your name and where you're from, please.
Sam, what's good, Sam? It's Ty from Brooklyn.
Ty, what's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
Feeling great, man. That was a great, first, shout out to the chat, shout out to the panel, shout out to everybody here. That was a great gutsy win, man.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was a great gutsy win.
That was a good one. That was a good one. That was one of the best wins of the season right there. Not as far as shooting and all of that kind of stuff, but as far when you look at grit, character, sticking together no matter what. You know what I mean? That was
Right.
that's the kind of win that the Knicks needed a win like this.
Yes, they did. I
You know?
know the emotion, the effort that was given. You go back to, like you alluded to it, that third quarter where and give Denver credit. They started getting us in foul trouble. At one point, I thought the refs was just gonna hand them the game.
Yeah, word.
With how many free throws they was taking. But then the Knicks flipped the switch on them in the fourth quarter and did the same thing to them.
Right.
Like we took some real ill-advised shots in that third quarter going down. And they got us out of our rhythm. But we fought through it. We fought through it, man. That some of them hustle plays, that steal from Randall where he gets the dunk. Like obviously the biggest play, we dives on the ball and tosses it to Brunson. But there's one play where Brunson gets the switch and Jeff Green is guarding him.
Mm-hmm.
And they got Murray on Randall. At that point, I think Brunson should have backed out, gave the ball to Randall, and let him operate in the post with Murray on him and make the decision. He's got it going, similar to how Brunson had it going last night in Utah. And Brunson was doing good tonight too, so I don't even want to harp on that too much. All in all, Randall dealing, like you said, he might be dealing with some sickness, so just make your free throws. But all in all, you can't complain.
You can't complain, man.
It was a
You
really
can't
good,
complain.
Great one, man.
Yeah, that was a great one, man. That really, really good win. Ty, appreciate your time. Appreciate the call.
Appreciate it.
All right, have a good one.
That.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks defeat the Denver Nuggets 106-103. And, we're going to take a look at some of the numbers behind the game as I pull up the game charts. It wasn't like either team was really scorching hot out there. You know what I mean? They weren't scorching hot. Neither team was scorching hot. But, both teams did enough, honestly, to win the basketball game. Only one team can win at a time. All right, the Knicks got out-rebounded by, 52-51. And actually, let me update this real quick just so I can be sure, because sometimes it takes the NBA a little bit of time to update it. The Knicks actually got out-rebounded by 2. 42-40. 24 assists for the Knicks, 18 for the Denver Nuggets, right? And, why is it 18 for the Denver Nuggets? Well, probably because Jokic was not there, right? Everything for the Nuggets revolves around Nikola Jokic. You know what I mean? And he wasn't there.
Right.
So it changes everything. 12 steals for the Knicks, 3 for the Nuggets, 5 blocks for the Knicks, 5 for the Nuggets. Only 7 turnovers tonight. In a game that was scrappy, right? A game that was scrappy, physical. You know what I mean? Guys were, guys were getting a little bit heated and all that kind of stuff. In a game like that, only 7 turnovers for the Knicks, 15 for the Denver Nuggets. The Knicks shot 44% from the field. They shot 23.5% from the three-point line and 77% from the free throw line. The Nuggets, 44% from the field, 36.8% from the three-point line, and 85% from the free throw line. For the Knicks to get a win when the Nuggets were shooting better from the three-point line and shooting the same from the field, they shot better from the free throw line. And the Knicks were still able to pull out that win. That's gutsy. That's gutsy.
Yeah, and the other thing, Sim, with what you just said, yeah, they didn't have Jokic, but they still had like a 10-point lead, and you thought that you would think that Denver would have that in hand, and I think it was like maybe 8 or 7 minutes that they had this 10-point lead, and then we went on our run. So they kind of had this, in hand. They played without Jokic before and have won games. So
Yeah.
for us to do what we did tonight, that was really, really
It was good.
really
It was good.
telling.
Great team win. Great team win. 50
Yeah.
points in the paint
Yeah.
for the Knicks, 34 for the Nuggets. Both teams had 13 second chance points, and the Knicks capitalized on the Nuggets' turnovers. All right, 21 fast break points for the Knicks, only 12 for the Denver Nuggets. Let me get to another
That's amazing.
phone call here. Caller, you're live. Your name and where you're from, please.
Sam, it's Spree.
Spree, what's popping with you, my brother? How you
What's
feeling?
happening, bro?
Hey, man, that's the beauty about this game. You could feel miserable for a couple days, and then, the one thing is they have pride. These are professional basketball players. There's a lot of pride in this. These people, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and one thing I'll say about them is that they fought. They fought. Julius fought, and it's not like Julius shot it amazing. I mean, He shot 11 for 21, 3 for 10, but Julius played his butt off. Look, you survive a game where your starting shooting guard shoots 4 for 18 from the field. You survive a game where at the end of the third quarter, IQ played very well. I'm not trying to hate on IQ, and I got to give IQ a lot of credit for his defense. But at the end of the third quarter, he ran the shot clock out, and then Bones, Highland, hits a 3 where I didn't think RJ's defense was good enough, but I give Highland credit. He was making tough shots. But we survived that, Sim. We also survived the play where we had a rebound and we bobbled it, and it led to a 3.
Right.
So there was a lot of backbreaking things that could have fallen apart here, especially the RJ 4 for 18. But once RJ went out, I think it was 10, Sim. I think it was 10, and we cut it to 6.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we cut it to 6, and I think what Julius did was he had, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not. This is just memory. I thought he got a steal, and he got a steal, and then Brunson made a little move on Caldwell Pope, maybe in the post, cut it to 6. Denver called a timeout, got it to 6. I think that's right.
Somewhere around there, something like that.
That's something like that. That's when I knew the Knicks were going to win this game. I think once they cut it to 6, everybody calmed down. Brunson made a big play where Brunson bullied him. And then Julius's effort by just diving on the floor, scooping it to Brunson, that gave the team life. So, here's the thing about Julius. I didn't Julius had bad possessions still. He had a couple bad possessions where he was up in the air, Sim, and you're like, I don't love it. But look, he gave you 4 assists. He gave you 4 steals. and his effort on defense. That's what we've been asking for.
That's what you've been asking for. That's what you've been asking for.
I mean,
And the thing is, that when you have a dinner like they say that they've had, right? That where they talk about holding each other accountable, and especially if you are the one who organized this dinner, you better come out and bust your ass.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because if not, then you're just talking. You're just speaking out the side of your mouth. You've got to come out and show everyone that you're serious about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're absolutely right. I mean, like it's one thing to talk about it, but leadership's on the floor, man. Like, and the body language is better from him. Like, okay, you're gonna look. Nobody's perfect. Okay, I'm not saying Julius Randle's the perfect player. I can deal with somebody that's not a perfect player. He has the ball in his hands a lot, but Brunson now has it a lot in his hands to take pressure off him. Julius Randle's gonna make some mistakes. I can accept the mistakes he made in the game when he plays with that effort and that positive body language, because it inspires your team. You saw how excited they got when he made that play. Like everybody on the bench, that's what it is. It's not, the Knicks fans will rally around you when you play like that. It inspires your team. So I just want to give him a shout out. Another thing, Cam Reddish had another and one, Sim. I feel like he has one of those and ones every game where not many people can finish these baskets.
Right, because he does a great job of extending to the basket. He can extend with his arm, but his body is still back here. He does a great job doing that. You know what I'm saying? And he's also going hard to the basket, not double pumping. You know what I mean? And using his length, to get over and around people. So he's doing a really good job when he's going to the basket, and he's finding his rhythm within this offense.
I'm glad he's here.
Yeah, he's finding his rhythm within the offense, and especially right now with RJ not playing well, he's stepping up and being that wing player that the Knicks need right now, and it's helping tremendously. He's a big part of what's happened the last 2 games. The Knicks have won 3 of the last 4 games. He's a big part of that.
I agree with you. I mean, I love Cam. I think he's definitely one of our most important players. I don't know. You have to continue to start him just the way he's like. That's
no
obvious.
doubt about it.
Like
No doubt
anybody,
about it.
you have to start him. And I'll just say
absolutely.
this last thing on Quickly, and I'll let you go. Quickly, to me, besides the one blunder in the third quarter, and I'm not going to hate on that play. He was trying to make a play. He lost time and score. That happens. But his defense, I think he's more under control with a guy like a Brunson or we talk about this all the time when he has another guy on the floor, but like Quickly is starting to make better decisions. That's another game where he had 1 turnover, Sam. Quickly, I got to give Quickly love because I hated on Quickly early on where he drove me nuts, but I think he's learning. I think they must be doing something in film or practice to show IQ. This is just operate under control. You have talent to get into the paint and kick. So I got to give love to him.
Yeah, no doubt.
Good night. I'll talk to you Friday.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Spree. Spree.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick. What did you think of Jericho Sims?
I like Jericho Sims. I think he held his own. There was 1 rebound I thought he could have had that hurt us, but the one thing I'll give Sims.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll give Sims though is he sets good screens and he's a force in there, and also the refs, because he's so strong. Even if you don't think it was a little foul, because he's so strong, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt against guys that aren't as strong as him, and he gets foul calls. He gets a more favorable whistle than a Mitchell Robinson or even a Hartenstein because he's so strong.
He's so big
I got to give Sims love, and he fights. But you're the man, Sim. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
All right, guy.
Yeah.
All right, Spree.
I want to talk a little bit more about that small lineup because it was scrappy, and I think it was scrappy. It was fast. They did a decent job defensively. Obviously, Denver didn't have a ton of size out there, so it does allow you to play a little bit smaller, which they did. The more Obi is out there in those type of situations, he played 23 minutes tonight. Obi Toppin did. The more he's out there in those type of situations, those crunch time situations, the better he'll get, the more comfortable he'll
I
be.
agree.
Tom Thibodeau is becoming more comfortable with that lineup.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because it does add some speed, and it adds. If they can all play defense, they can get after it. They can really get after it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Yeah.
if Obi uses his athleticism correctly, it can help to make up for some size. Right? Because Obi can jump out the gym. He can figure out ways to use that athletic ability. You know what I mean? It can help him stay on the floor in those situations. Obi tonight, 7 points, 3 rebounds. He played 23 minutes. He was 3 for 8 from the field, 1 for 5 from the 3-point line.
Any assists?
No assist for Obi tonight.
No assists tonight. Yeah.
No assist. But, as long as he can manage defensively,
Right.
and if he can use his athleticism to help change shots and things like that, it gives the Knicks more firepower when Obi and Randall can play together.
Play together. Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what I mean?
And especially if Randall gives the effort that he gives, that he gave tonight, man. I was like, where was this Knicks team, last week and last Sunday and everything. But
Well, I mean, this is the thing.
but again,
It's up and down. It's
like you said, it's consistency.
right. It's consistency. Can they be consistent? Can they do it consistently? It's up and down. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of basketball team that they are right now. What they've got to do is when their shot's not falling, they got to dig in defensively, right? When the shot ain't falling, dig in defensively. Make the hustle plays. Get on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Dive for the loose balls. Do the little things. The little things lead to big things.
Right.
And it goes both
So,
ways.
Sam,
You make a lot of little mistakes, you could lose. Right? You make a lot of
and I saw that tweet too. Like you said, the little things is what
the little things, man. You do the little things and it adds up.
And it
You
adds
know what I
up
mean?
and everything.
You were getting ready to say something.
now-
Go ahead, Kev.
Yeah. So now I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right.
When Mitch comes back,
Mm-hmm.
do you keep going? Do you go with Sims then, or do you still keep going with Hardenstein backing up Mitch?
I think you still go with Hartenstein. I think you're still going to go with Hartenstein. Now, if Hartenstein's not playing well or anything, or he's in foul trouble, then you're comfortable using Sims, right? But the reason why I think you still go with Hartenstein is because he adds something different that the Knicks don't have out there on the floor. He's not hitting the 3-point shot, but teams will respect it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
He can hit the little floater in the lane. Right? He's a good rebounder. He can set screens.
He does.
Like,
Yeah. You saw Jericho try to take a little jump shot, I guess like a push shot as well, from out the paint and everything. So he's trying. I'm just loving the way Jericho is playing, and it's just a shame that once Mitch gets back, that those opportunities might shrink a little bit. But like you said, if Hardenstein is not playing well, then I could see
right.
I could see Tibbs, going back to Jericho.
Yeah. And the thing is, Mitchell Robinson and Jericho Sims do so much of the same things. You don't have a change of pace or a change of style to throw out there. You still have Hartenstein, but you want to have that change of style, that you can put out there on the floor.
Yeah.
So I think Hartenstein still continues to play those minutes. Jericho Sims will be situational. This is a situation that Jericho Sims is going to play because Mitch is out, right? But I think he'll continue to be situational, and that's the way the NBA goes. One of those two guys between Jericho Sims and Mitchell Robinson, if they want to take Hartenstein's spot, will need to develop that 3-point shot. or develop a little bit more offense.
And we don't see that happening.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Develop a little bit more offense. But the Knicks, man, they go into Utah. Utah was undefeated at home. They take them down.
Yep.
Denver was undefeated at home.
Undefeated at home.
They take them down.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Is that's big, and to do it on back to backs. There was no excuses. It was back to backs.
Back to back.
Right? They beat Utah and high altitude. You got to give it up for them. And high altitude.
It's a rarity for us to do what we did these past 2 days because we did this against quality teams.
Yeah.
Quality teams that at least for Denver, that's always in the playoffs, and Utah, Utah's Utah, that says a lot.
Yeah, and it's important. It really is important for the Knicks to get quality wins, right? At this point, do we know if Utah is really a quality win? I guess you have to consider it a quality win because
of their record right now.
Because of their record right now, right? So you have to consider it a quality win. The Utah Jazz, they're 10-6 on the season, right? But they have lost 3 in a row, right? Their last loss to the New York Knicks. Right. The Denver Nuggets, even though Jokic wasn't there, it's a quality win because they're a team that can still win without Jokic.
And also when we're looking at the schedule in the beginning of the season, you're thinking that 9 times out of 10, that there's a chance that we will lose this game, on the road. And for us to get these 2, that's a good mark for us going through this, down the road, for the scheduling and everything. That says a lot. Those are quality wins.
And look, right now the Knicks can't read the headlines. Right? They can't worry about everybody celebrating. You know what I mean? They just have to stay focused on what they're doing. Because if they start to look at the headlines and
then they'll start to believe it. They'll lose that edge. They'll lose the edge.
You don't want them to lose the edge, right? And then they'll start looking at their record and say, "Oh, well, we play the Warriors. They're 6-9. They're not playing well right now.
You can't
we play the Suns. That's going to be a tough team, and then we play OKC. We're going to be on our get backs with OKC. We want that win. You know what I mean? And now you lose the focus on the small things, the things that got you these 2 wins, right?
Exactly.
Stay away from the headlines. Keep your mind focused on. Okay, we got to go to Golden State. These are the defending champions. The defending champions. So we know we got to come out here and be ready to perform. Because if not, we can get our butts whipped easy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you got one dude on that team that can score over 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Golden State Warriors right now, they're 6-9 on the season. Not really playing good basketball. They are currently 12th in the Western Conference. You can expect that they're going to get better. And at some point, they're going to hit their stride.
Yes.
We just don't want it. You don't want it to be against the Knicks.
No, you do not want it to be against the Knicks. And the thing about it, also, me included, we were throwing dirt on this team with the beginning of this road trip, and they've already won not 1 but 2 games that at least I didn't think that they were going to win, and they've won them.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about Utah. I never liked our matchups against the Denver Nuggets, but without Jokic is a very different team.
It's a very different
team. And the way that they move the ball, the way that they revolve around, they don't have a guy to revolve around. With Jokic there, they revolve around Jokic. Jokic has the ball, and it's like he's the sun, and all the planets are revolving around him. You know what I mean? So they play very differently. Different basketball team, without a doubt. You know what I mean? But still.
It was our first win against Devontae Murray.
Okay.
Our first win. Because usually he was always beating us and everything. So,
but you mean Jamal Murray?
Jamal Murray. I meant Jamal Murray.
Yeah,
Jamal Murray. Yeah.
RJ Barrett, Are you concerned about RJ?
Oh yeah, I'm concerned, but I'm going to, like you did yesterday, giving him a mulligan. I'm gonna give him one. So already he'll have two because of his, being sick. And I've seen enough from players that when they have like when they are sick, when they have a cold and everything, it's hard to really get that to I won't say get that edge, but
Well, it's
be accustomed to what we're
well,
seeing
yeah.
in them.
When you're sick, depending on what the sickness is, especially if it's like a cold or something like that, it becomes a little bit harder to breathe. Obviously, you know what I mean.
Mhm. Right.
Um,
I mean, he was getting beat
you know,
off. Jamal Murray was. I mean, yeah, Jamal was just lighting him up and everything. So
and you don't have the energy. You don't have the same energy. That being said, RJ didn't come into these last few games playing particularly. He was playing okay, but he had started to shoot the ball better, right?
right,
RJ's hopefully when this sickness is over, whatever,
yeah,
he's able to come in and play with, just have some more spunk. I think right
yeah,
now he's missing that in his game, because of the sickness. I think he's missing some spunk.
yeah.
But this is the second game RJ hasn't played down the stretch, and he didn't deserve to play down the stretch. Emmanuel
No, he
Quickly's
did
playing
not.
much better defensively.
Yes.
He didn't
Yeah.
deserve to play down the stretch.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
concerned about that at all?
Concerned about you talking about RJ?
I mean, him not playing down the stretch. I mean, I guess it goes into your concern for RJ, right? But
Yeah.
next season you're paying this man some good money. You're paying him good money
Yeah.
now. He's making $11 million, but he starts a big contract.
Here's the thing. He's got to ask himself, am I going to be an average third pick in the draft player, or am I going to be the one that the player that everyone is talking about, that everyone where I make a difference on my team?
I mean,
Because right now it's trending towards that. Um, I won't say. Well, forget me thinking that being a bust and everything, but he's trending towards being mediocre as the third pick in the draft. That's
Report.
what's trending right now.
Reporter, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you.
That's my concern right there. I mean, I always keep saying, "Oh, he got his money." Well, no, he didn't. He'll get it, I guess, like you
Next
said,
season.
next year.
Next season.
Next season, he will and everything. And this was the dude that everyone fought up and down, saying that they wouldn't trade him for Donovan Mitchell. This was him.
Yeah.
And now it's starting to look like there's egg on our face that because of what Mitchell is doing with Cleveland.
Well, I mean, RJ has never been Donovan Mitchell. It wasn't going to be Donovan
No,
Mitchell.
he's never
right?
been Donovan Mitchell. But what I'm saying is, we were all fighting. I mean, me included. Was saying I wouldn't trade for Donovan. I wouldn't give up RJ for Donovan Mitchell. That's what I was. That's what I was saying.
He's got some time to. He's got some time. He's got some time to become, above average. If for that third pick,
Right.
if that's what you're saying,
Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly.
My thing is it's hard to compare picks from other years and this and that because, you can have a third pick this year, you can have a third pick, and in next year's draft class, that guy might have been a 10th pick. All depends on the talent that's in that draft class. RJ's first got to get healthy, and then figure out where his shots are coming from a little bit more in his offense. We know he's got to drive down the lane with coming from the right to the left. We know he's got that. He's got to start to convert that a little bit more. He's got the corner three that he knows he's getting his shots from there. But those are really the only two spots where you see RJ get his shots. He gets some shots from, in transition, right? Where, he comes
Right.
down and, a little quick crossover and going to the basket. I think I seen someone say it in the chat, get this guy slashing a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? Get this guy
Yeah. I mean,
slashing to the
that's what makes
basket.
Cam Reddish so successful, because Cam Reddish slashes.
Yeah, get this guy slashing to the basket a little bit.
Sorry, we could not connect your call.
Okay. I don't know what that was all about.
Me.
I mean, somebody was supposed to be calling up, but I guess maybe they hung up. I don't know what they did. But anyway, sorry, we did not connect your call, my friend. Try calling back. But anyway, get RJ moving to the basket. Have him, slash a little bit instead of just standing in the corner or, getting it on a fast break or the little handoff and he dribbles down the lane. Get him moving so he's going to the basket with some momentum. You know what I mean? He's not going with momentum. He already doesn't have a lot of lift. If you get him going with some momentum, maybe he can get a little bit more lift on his layup, so on his shot. I'm also noticing that he's doing he's penetrating, getting in, and doing the thing where he's holding the guy off, and then looking for whatever the next play is, which is cool. But you got to make the decision. You got to make the right pass, and then I still feel like when you see a guy that plays that game where they can hold you off, and then they make their move, I fear that RJ doesn't have the explosiveness to make that move once he's holding the guy off, and he doesn't really reach, use his length, to get to the basket. RJ's got to work on that offensive game a little bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm hoping that his shooting comes around. That's going to be the big thing for him, his shooting. He's going to get a ton of shots from the corner. He's going to get a ton of open threes. He's shooting like 28% from the three-point line. We need that shooting to come around for RJ.
Right. So again, he has to go back to the lab and just, do everything that you just said, work on his shooting and work on his, did you say his footwork offensively?
I'm always, every player, I'm always big on them working on their footwork. You always got to work on your footwork.
Yeah.
Develop your your footwork. Build that footwork. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You always got to work on your footwork.
Hey, yeah.
No matter what.
Hey, I'll tell you. Right. And I'll tell you, those two guys for Denver, Najee and the other guy that was hitting from three,
Bones
their
Highland.
footwork is, yeah. I love their footwork. The way he split
Cam
Jalen
and Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
I mean, Najee's footwork was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. He had a good night. He had a good night. He didn't have tremendous footwork. He just had a good night.
Well, here's the thing. Last year, Najee was one of those players where you're like, who is this dude right here? Yeah. So they remember. And what's the name did the same thing to us in Denver. So that's why when they were going off on us, I was like, this is like a repeat of last year.
Yeah. Let me get to this caller right here. Caller, you're live.
Yep.
Name and where you're from, please.
Hi, Shane. My name is Pedro. I'm from New York.
Pedro, what's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
I'm chilling, bro. I was wondering to see if you could promote Jericho Singh a little bit more, because I feel like Jericho Singh could be the next Ben Wallace for the Detroit Pistons back in the days.
Okay.
And Cam Reddish, I think he's the next Brandon Ingram, bro. So if you could do something and promote those two guys, that would be great for them.
Man, I'll give Tom Thibodeau a call tonight as soon as we get off the phone. Nah, I'm just joking. Listen, I think that Jericho Sims, still has some growing to do, basketball-wise, basketball IQ-wise, you know what I mean? Defensively, especially, but he's a young guy, second year in the league.
Well, he's a great rebounder, man.
Great rebounder, really good rebounder, set screens, has a ton of athleticism, you know what I mean? So there's definitely a future for Jericho Sims. And I think right now it's a good spot for him. You know what I mean?
You don't think it's He don't remind you of Ben Wallace a little bit.
No. You're right. He does, with maybe a better offensive game though.
Okay.
Better offensive game.
If you can promote those two guys, man, I would love that.
Hey, no doubt about it. We'll talk about them as much as we can. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, Jericho Sims may be at some Westchester Knicks games, and I plan on going to a few of them this season. Hopefully, maybe he won't. I guess it depends on if Mitchell Robinson makes it back or anything like that. But no doubt, Pedro, I'm with you, man. I like what Cam Reddish and Jericho Sims are doing.
Oh, definitely. Thank you for everything, man. You got a great show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you for calling in. Appreciate it. Yeah, man. 1:30 in the morning. Knicks fans love their team. There's no doubt about that, man. 124, not 1:30 yet. 124.
So I guess the Fournier thing is all over and done with, huh?
Oh yeah, that's a done deal. That's a done deal, in my opinion. Yeah. They did talk about him on a telecast a little bit, and just pointing out that he's not being disgruntled or anything like that. You know what I mean? And just taking it what it is. I mean, he's gonna make $18 million for sitting on the end of the bench. Ain't me too mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he's not being used, though, I think eventually a trade does come down the pike for Evan Fournier.
Yes.
But there's gonna come a time, though, Cam. I mean, listen, RJ's not playing. RJ's hurt. I mean, not hurt. He's sick. You might say, hey, we're going to sit RJ out, and then maybe Fournier comes off the bench. Or Grimes, one of the two. You know what I mean? And now there was some talk. Some people, there was some talk about Grimes maybe going down and playing some games in the G League just so he can get some burn. We'll see.
Yeah, that is so bizarre. My whole thing is, if it's a plantar fasciitis, just sit him.
Well, I mean, the thing is, he's probably
it takes time, right?
Well, he's probably healthy right now. The thing now is him getting in shape, and so you don't get as many practices. Where are you finding time to get in shape? Because you got game after game after game after game. So in order for him to get in shape, they say, hey, go down to the G League where you can get some playing time, which is going to help you to get in game shape. Now come on back up here and play. You know what I'm saying? Nikki B from Harlem, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you for being up with us. I appreciate all of you for being up with us right now. Is RJ top 5 in his draft class? His class includes Zion Williamson, John Morant, Darius Garland, Keldon Johnson, Jordan Poole, Tyler Hero, and others. Right now, maybe not.
Maybe not, no.
Time will tell if he gets there. You know what I mean? Time will tell if he gets there. But, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks get a nice win versus the Denver Nuggets tonight. Very, very, very glad and happy to be saying that. Now, they got to focus their attention to the Golden State Warriors. See if they can go to Golden State and get a win. If they just pull off one more win during this stretch, it was a very successful road trip. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks are now 8-7 on the season. All right, 8-7 on the season. It's funny, they win 2 in a row and they drop from 7 to 8, but whatever. They're currently in the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, and they're actually tied with Indiana. Indiana is 7-6. The Washington Wizards are 8-7, and the New York Knicks are 8-7.
8-7.
Yep. The 76ers are behind the Knicks at 7-7. The Miami Heat are 7-8. Chicago, they're 6-9, and the Brooklyn Nets are 6-9. Right at the top of the conference, the Celtics are 12-3. They've won 8 straight games.
They're just a machine, man.
Right.
They haven't lost a beat, even with the fill-in coach. They haven't lost a beat at all.
Yeah. The Milwaukee Bucks, they're 11-3.
It's another one.
The Atlanta Hawks, and the Bucks have won 7 of their last 10 games. The Bucks have won 7 of their last 10 games. The Hawks are 9-6. They've won, they've been 5-5 in the last 10. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 8-6. They've lost 5 in a row. They've lost
Wow,
5
how
in a
does
row.
that happen? Oh
So,
man.
Just pay attention to that. See what's going on there. The Raptors are 9-7. The Indiana
Raptors are
Pacers
Raptors.
7-6. The Wizards 8-7. The Knicks 8-7. So on and so forth. In the Western Conference right now, Kev, you're making a whole. I don't know. You itchy. You must be tired. You must be tired because you
Yes,
itching and
I'm
scratching
tired.
and moving. I don't know what's going on.
I'm tired. What time do you have to get up tomorrow
You know what I'm
morning?
saying? I have a training at 9 o'clock, so I gotta be, I gotta be up at 8 so I can set up.
Okay, I got to be up at 6.
Okay, all right. The Portland Trail Blazers, they're 10-4, leading the Western Conference. The Phoenix Suns 9-5. The Denver Nuggets, who the Knicks just defeated, are 9-5. The Jazz are 10-6. Those are the top 4 teams.
Repeat that first one.
Portland, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Knicks play Portland after this road trip. They come home and they play Portland when they come home after the road trip. Yeah.
It's amazing, man. I can't explain it, man.
Hey, sometimes you put the right pieces together, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you put together the right pieces.
But then also, quoting from Bill Parcells, your record is you are what your record says you are, and right now, these guys are just playing, and so they are. Now, like you said, it's just the beginning, but even though it is the beginning, that could carry, that can carry,
What?
success.
Oh yeah. Of course, right. It can.
Yeah,
Definitely, it can carry.
That can carry.
Yeah. The New Orleans Pelicans, they're in 5th place in the Western Conference. They're 9-6. The Grizzlies are 9-6. They're in 6th place. The Dallas Mavericks, they're 8-6 in 7th place. The Sacramento Kings are 7-6. They're in the 8th spot. The Clippers are 8-7 in the 9th spot, and the Minnesota Timberwolves are 7-8 in the 10th spot. That rounds out the top 10 in the Western Conference.
So right now the Lakers are not, or
the Lakers are tied. Well, they have the 3rd worst record in the league.
Wow.
Yeah, they're 3-10 right now.
And
they are
wouldn't
not
it be
good.
Yeah, wouldn't it be apropos if these guys, if the Lakers got like the number 1 pick in the draft?
Well, if they get the number 1 pick in the draft, it's going to New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh my
that's
God.
That's that. I don't know if there's any protections on that pick, but there could be some protections on the pick. I don't know.
Oh my God.
But yeah, the Lakers, man, that's a man. I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel bad for them.
I don't feel bad
I'll
for
tell you
him
that.
either.
I don't care. I don't feel bad for them at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you staying up with me and Cornerstone Kev, who came on to eat a little bit of crow. Hope you enjoyed it. Was it good? I seasoned it up for you nice and
I'm glad you
I threw
did,
some
man.
adobo on there.
Some adobo, yes, absolutely.
Some nature.
Absolutely.
I did it up. I did that crow up for you
because that crow could taste like liver at times. So I'm glad you did all that.
I did it. I did it up for you, man. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Am I flip flopping back? Yeah, they are after these 2 games, against quality teams. So.
Hey, what did I tell you a couple of shows ago? What did I tell you? You were, I'm done. They're gonna lose. And I said, as soon as they win a couple of games, you'll be back. No, I won't. And you're back.
Right, because the teams that they won against again are quality.
I know, but this is what I was telling you. You don't got to jump off the deep end. Sometimes you're gonna have some games like they had, and there'll be a couple. There'll be a couple more. There'll be a couple more throughout the season.
But you understand what I was saying about
I dig what you were saying.
The heart part.
I get it.
That's what was that. They were embarrassed in Brooklyn and they were embarrassed at home by OKC. OKC won again off a last minute buzzer by Gilchrist. That's that has the makings of trying to be special. If they could stop, trading everybody and then, just getting picks and all like that, they could be really special. But again, it goes back to me saying you don't want to be embarrassed. If you're going to lose, you're going to lose. You don't want to be embarrassed.
I get it.
And I just thought that, that they were too lackadaisical and what's the word for it?
I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. But like Kevin remembers, he said you definitely called it. I told you, you'll be back. Yeah. You will be back.
I will be back.
We're back.
Yep, absolutely. And I'm back. I'm back full effect.
Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all for being on with us. We're gonna head off and let Cornerstone, get to bed, get some sleep, so he can get up early tomorrow morning or this morning. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna go eat because no, I for real. Because listen, man, I came home from practice. As soon as I came home from practice, we did the front stoop where we did a review of Nas's album. It ran over into the game, so then I went straight and watched the game. And while I'm watching the game, because I was running late, I'm trying to set up this show. And then right after this, I was like, let me get on here. So I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. Listen, I don't care that it's 1:35. I'm eating some food.
Eat something and sit up for about maybe 20 minutes and then go to bed.
Oh, you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to eat something and I'm going to be up for another 2 hours.
Oh, God. Okay, fine.
That's me.
Fine. I have no words.
I'm going to be up for like another 2 hours.
Yeah, I'll be.
I'll probably be like, I won't be doing anything but like playing chess or something online. On my Xbox, playing chess or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe I'll see if there's something on to watch, but I'll probably do that.
Okay.
Because I get mad, like the computer start busting my ass, and I'm like, nah, I gotta win. I gotta get one win before I finish.
God.
Yeah. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. I'm definitely not gonna do my 5 takeaways. I'm not gonna do it tonight because I'm already tired. If I get a chance after I do my training tomorrow, I'll do my 5 takeaways, and boom, we'll be ready to go. Anyway, I appreciate you all. Thank you, and we out. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.